What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Last episode we talked about God abandoning us. And yeah, that was pretty much the last episode. This episode is gonna be a little bit different, just a little bit. I've noticed that I have been just a very bitter person recently. Like like editing these videos and like going through the streams and stuff, I've realized that I've just become like really bitter, and I don't necessarily like it. I look back on when I was younger, probably before I joined the army and before I was homeless and like all this stuff. I just like wasn't a bitter person. I was very happy. I was very excited about the world. Like I was very passionate, very supportive. I was just a better person. I was thinking about like why I don't feel like I'm a better person now compared to then. And I think it starts with bitterness. I've just become like a very bitter person, and I don't really like it. So of course, naturally, I turned to my Bible to see what God had to say about being bitter. And I found these two passages. Ephesians 4:31. So let me turn to that page real quick. Page 354. If you guys want to follow along in your book of scripture. 354. Um, 431 says, "Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and slander be put away from you, along with all malice." Also, Hebrews 12:14 and 15, page 409. Follow along, everybody. Excuse me. 14 and 15. Strive for peace with everyone, and for the holiness without which no one will see the Lord. See to it that no one fails to obtain the grace of God, that no root of bitterness springs up and causes trouble, and by it many become defiled. Defiled is crazy. Yeah, it basically just says, don't be a bitter person. Don't allow yourself to go there, which I think is pretty okay advice. I don't think it's like revolutionary advice, but I don't think it's bad advice. Yeah, I don't know. Like, a long time ago, one of my friends had pointed out that like everyone is their own worst critic, and so it's natural for me to like overanalyze myself and be like, well, I wasn't like this a year ago. Why am I like this now? Like, I sound so bitter now about everything. So I'm probably like hypercritical of that. And everybody changes. Like, change is good. You're supposed to change throughout life. If you're the same person you were your whole life, like, that isn't good. But not all change is good, and I don't think this recent change that I've been going through is a good one. I don't like that I've become this like bitter person. It doesn't help that life is lifing, and I know that kind of just sounds like an excuse. But life has definitely been lifing. It's just been, I don't know, it's just the way that the world is right now and stuff that I've been going through. It's just become like really hard to not be bitter about stuff, and that's not good. Like, that's not. I don't want to like excuse that. I'm definitely not a fan of who I am right now. That sounds bad. I don't think I'm like a bad person. Like I don't want to make it sound like I hate myself. I don't hate myself. This isn't like 2016 me. But I definitely have noticed that I've become a bit bitter over the past couple of months, and I don't like it. So I'm gonna take the initiative, take a step forward, and really try not to be as bitter of a person about stuff. Don't necessarily know where to start with that. I mean, the Bible says get rid of like malice and anger and all that stuff. So maybe that will be a good place to start, I guess. I can't believe I'm taking advice from the Bible right now. But I don't know. I think it's sound advice, you know. I don't think there's an issue with that. Yeah, I don't know. Like I think back to like when I first started streaming, right? And it was just so fun, and like the way that I would play games, I didn't care if I won. I didn't care. Like it didn't matter. None of it mattered. I didn't have this weird obsession with like trying to 100% every game that I play. And it was just like, I'd just fuck around with my friends. And like, I still do that. I still definitely do that. But it's just like, I don't know. It just feels different now, for some reason. For whatever reason. It's weird. And I don't know if I don't know if it's all just going on in my head, which is bugging me. Like, I don't know if this bitter feeling that I have translates into my content. I don't think it does, because I don't think people would watch if I was just this like really bitter dude recording videos and streaming and stuff. Like I don't think anybody would enjoy being in the streams. So I don't know if it necessarily like translates and stuff, but I definitely feel more bitterer. So I think a good way to fix that is I'm just not gonna let shit make me bitter. I'm gonna be more optimistic and like hopeful. And just like look at the world in a better way. I think like when I first joined the military, I had this drill sergeant who told me that 95% of the army is looking good. Just looking the part, you know, making it look like you know what you're doing and like you look cool or whatever, and people will be like, oh, that guy fucks, that guy knows what he's doing, I don't want to fuck with that guy. 1% of it is actually like doing your job, and then the other 4% of it is your attitude towards the military. And I think the reason the military, my military career, my job, and I have been butting heads a lot is because I am very bitter about my job. I work long days. I've started working on the weekends. You could probably hear the bitterness in my voice in that one, but I'm trying. The whole point of this video is to not be bitter. So, you know, maybe if I just change my mindset towards work, I'll feel better, and it'll translate into the rest of my life. So it's not that I have to work on the weekends, it's that I get to work on the weekends. You know, I'm also me saying that made me think about this philosophy that I adopted when I was like 16 and actually wanted to die. Fake it till you make it. It's the best life advice that I probably heard somewhere, but I like to think that I came up with it all on my own. If you just fake it till you make it, you'll eventually get there, right? And my point, the reason I believe in that is because when I was 16 years old, all I wanted to do was die. Oh my god, I have a hard time putting myself in the shoes of 16-year-old me, because it's such a like foreign concept to me that that I could even be that depressed once upon a time. Like, I have a hard time looking back on that and really putting myself in 16-year-old me's shoes and understanding like why he felt the way that he felt. But 16-year-old me was like I want to die, but I don't want to die because I know that I'm not always gonna feel this way. And it started, I was like, I just need a way to like get through. Like, I need a way for people to not know that I want to die, and like eventually I will feel better. So how do I do that? And it all started by faking a smile. This sounds psychotic and so stupid, talking about it now, but at the time, somebody, I think it was some stranger, some girl at the mall or something, had complimented my smile. She was like, "Oh, you have a really nice smile, like you know, really nice smile." Something along the lines of like, "You should smile more," but I I took it as I have a nice smile. So I went home that day or the next day or whatever, and I literally, it felt like I stood in front of the mirror for like an hour and just smiled and tried to like make a genuine like fake smile, but for it to not look fake. Because when you want to die, it's really hard to smile. Like, it's really hard to have a genuine smile that people aren't just like, that people can't just like see through. So for like, it felt like an hour. Don't actually know if it was for an hour, but it felt like an hour. I stood in front of my bathroom mirror and I just smiled over and over and over again until I had what looked like a genuine smile. Still fake. Didn't actually want to smile, but it looked genuine. And that carried me through the next year.
Skill chip ready for upgrade.
Of just faking these smiles of like, "Oh, how are you today?" Being like, "I'm good," and then like this fake smile on my face. And eventually, it took a long time. It took a long time and a lot of work on my part to get to a point where I didn't have to fake those smiles anymore. The smile was an actual genuine smile because I actually felt good. I think if I apply that same logic to being a less bitter person about everything, I think I could genuinely become a less bitter person. And by proxy, a better person. So,
Get some rest.
I think that's what I'm gonna try doing. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I'm crazy and like I'm not actually a bitter person. But comparing me now to past me definitely feels like I am a more bitter person than I was
Airdrop incoming.
a couple years ago. And I think it's not just a me thing. I think that's a worldwide thing with all the stuff going on. I think the majority of people have become a lot more bitter about stuff. And I don't want that to be me. I don't want to be a bitter person. I liked being the person that people would come to when they wanted to feel better because I wasn't a bitter person. I kind of miss that role that I played in people's lives. I don't really have that anymore. At least I don't think I have that anymore. It could all be made up. This could all just be like my anxiety just like getting the best of me. And making me think things that aren't true. But yeah, no, I do believe that I have a bitter person. So I'm gonna work hard to fix that because I don't want people to have this perception of me that, like, I'm just some bitter guy who screams at video games all the time. I think what caused all this was when I played Call of Duty the other day, and I was just so angry at Woods and Weaver for not helping me with this fucking mission. I think that's what this, like, all stems from. Which is really funny thinking about it. But, yeah, it's whatever. It's fine. We'll get there. We'll be okay. Yeah, I will see you guys all in the next video. Peace, much love, don't be bitter.